International exhibitors, shipping and not travelling to the UK. You are considered an international exhibitor if you do not live in the UK. Saving shipping costs. Firstly, you can save entirely on shipping costs if you are displaying prints. You can send a JPEG to a UK online printer and get them to deliver the work to us. Often, they will frame for you too. Here is a list of 2D and 3D printers that have produced work for exhibitors in the past. However, you must still ship your label board separately. If you don't know what a label board is, please see the section entitled Price Labels, Business Card Holders and Browsers in the handbook. Shipping carriers. If the above option is not possible, then you will need to ship your work using a carrier. We strongly suggest you use DHL, FedEx, EMS or UPS. This is because they will also double up as a UK import agent for free. National Postal Service. We suggest you do not use your National Postal Service. Although often cheaper, they are usually not as efficient as the shipping companies mentioned before when it comes to acting as your import agent. This can mean the difference sometimes between your work arriving on time for exhibition or not. Please note, if you choose to use your postal service and the documentation is not filled out correctly or your parcel does not arrive on time, we cannot act as your agent for you. If you are shipping from the USA, please avoid using USPS if possible. If you are shipping from Australia or New Zealand and plan on using Pack and Send, please make sure that they first ship to a UK Pack and Send branch using their account number with FedEx or DHL or whichever long-haul carrier they use. Please ask them. UK Customs and Import VAT. What information to give your shipper? In November 2021, Parallax was granted the right by the British Tax Authority to have all import taxes and duties suspended on products entering the UK. In effect, you don't pay tax at the border as you must with other events. However, such a privilege means you must follow a few rules to ensure that your work arrives without any problems. Importing. To ship, you simply need 3 pieces of information. Number 1. Prepare an inventory of all your works, showing their prices and the total price. Your prices must include 20% VAT. Here is an example of an inventory. As you can see from the example, it shows images of the works, it shows the country of origin, the title, a description of the work, and the price of each work, as well as the total price. Don't worry so much about the commodity code yet, because we're going to go through that in a moment. The second thing that you need is Parallax letter number 1 that we give you stating our EORI number, customs procedure code, and our temporary admission authorization number. This must be attached to your shipping documentation if you are shipping. It must also be brought with you if you are travelling. Parts of the information must also be on your shipping documentation or given to your agent if you are travelling. The third thing that you need are the commodity codes for your products. Choose the codes shown here that apply to you and enter them into your inventory. You also need to write them on your shipping documentation in the section where you give a description of the contents of your package. The first one relates to paintings, drawings and pastels, executed entirely by hand, collages and similar decorative plaques. The second code relates to original sculptures and statuary in any material. The third relates to original engravings, prints and lithographs. Photography, if it's digitally printed, comes under this category. The fourth relates to articles of jewellery and parts thereof of silver, whether or not plated or clad with other precious metal, excluding antiques over 100 years old. These relate to handmade porcelain or china. These relate to handmade common pottery. And this commodity code relates to handmade earthenware or fine pottery. If your work is glassware, textiles, that's handmade cushions, etc., millinery, stationery, soap, artistic soap, or furniture, please contact the office for the correct commodity codes. So let's check the 3 things that you need. You need 1. An inventory, 2. Parallax letter 1, 3. Commodity codes. When you have these and the time is ready to ship, you must, number 1. Contact your shipper by phone and tell them you are importing to the UK according to the customs procedure code 5300011. That is full temporary admission. Tell them that you have the HMRC authorization number of the recipient, their EORI number and an inventory, and ask where you should include this on the shipping documentation. Number 2, for shipping, you will need your normal shipping documentation and a commercial invoice. You should also attach a copy of the Parallax Letter 1 and your inventory to the commercial invoice. Number 3, you must make sure you fill out the shipping documentation correctly. Don't guess, ask your shipper. The description section will need the commodity codes, they may be called harmonized system numbers on your shipping form or something similar, and don't forget to include the price of the works. Date for work to arrive. You can find all the dates and addresses in the handbook. Please make sure that your name is written clearly on your packaging. Some exhibitors have forgotten to do this and their work has gone missing. You must stick a copy of your hanging plan on the outside of your box. Return delivery. You can find all the return dates in the handbook. To process this smoothly, you need to do these steps after you have been informed your work needs to be shipped back to you. Number 1, book your shipping with a chosen shipper. For return shipping, you can use FedEx, DHL, UPS, Parcel Force, Royal Mail, EMS, or another carrier. Number 2, email the online waybill that you are sent by your shipper to us. It will always have a barcode on it and it must also be in English. Number 3, you will also need to send a commercial invoice for customs. Shipper websites tend to produce these alongside the waybill. Don't worry, just make sure it is there. If not, talk to your shipper as they can email it to you. Number 4, book the driver with the carrier, especially if you use UPS. Booking your shipping and a driver to pick it up are two separate things with shippers, so make sure that you do both. Number 5, the exhibition manager will prepare the parcels and attach the re-export documentation. It is your responsibility to arrange the waybill documentation. It is not the responsibility of Parallax to arrange your shipping for you or to pay for it. We cannot be held responsible for errors made by your chosen carrier or for arranging your insurance. Insurance for transportation is your responsibility.